My fellow Americans, this is your favorite Professor Toto of the Conservative College, pulling back the curtain on all liberal lies. I could not go to bed tonight without fulfilling my duty as the purveyor of truth in a world of lies. And it is my duty to reveal to you tonight the bones of a cover-up with Joe Biden's prostate cancer. How did it get this far without anybody noticing? That is the question of the night. But before I answer that question, I want to be extremely clear that I sincerely extend my sympathy and best wishes to the former resident Joe Biden and his family as he undergoes treatment for metastatic prostate cancer. Regardless of our political divisions, a cancer diagnosis, especially one that has reached the bones, is no small burden. We pray for his healing, for his strength, and for comfort to his family during this difficult time, and I sincerely mean that. But while we offer our prayers and our compassion, and we do sincerely, most sincerely, while we do that, we must at the same time not excuse the manipulation of an entire nation, the gaslighting of millions of people. Let's start with the question, the elephant in the room. How does cancer that takes years to spread go unnoticed? Now let's look at what the actual science has to say. All right, let's go to the actual science and see what they have to say. The American Cancer Society says prostate cancer tends to grow slowly, and most men with prostate cancer die of other causes rather than from the cancer itself because the cancer grows so slowly. According to the cancer research from the United Kingdom, when prostate cancer spreads to other parts of the body, it most commonly spreads to the bones. And this type of spread usually develops over a number of years. Let's read a 2021 article from the Journal of Clinical Oncology, and I quote, "Bone metastasis in prostate cancer are typically a late event in the course of the disease, often preceded by rising PSA levels and years of localized or regional spread." All right. If Joe Biden now has prostate cancer that has metastasized to his bones, it did not start last week. It did not start last month. As a matter of fact, it didn't even start last year. This cancer has been growing, progressing, and signaling itself through blood work for years. And he has been under the care of the most heavily monitored medical team in the world. So how does the former resident, subject to quarterly White House physicals and world-class screenings, not know? Somebody make it make sense for your humble neighborhood friendly fluffy professor. I need to know. You see, this is not just a medical story. What you're beholding, fellow Americans, is not a medical story. It's the last chapter of the narrative. Let's step back. Years ago, yours truly, Professor Toto, the High Chancellor of Common Sense, made the following quote: Joe Biden will never face accountability. He will not be prosecuted. He will not be tried. He will not be dragged before any tribunal. He will leave the stage under the fog of a medical excuse. His mind or his body will conveniently fail, and the deep state will usher him off the scene with a sympathy bow. End of quote. I told you so. And how many remember the reason he was not prosecuted for classified documents? Does anybody remember that reason? Because he was an old man. Here's what we're looking at right now, fellow Americans. We have a diagnosis, which is nothing but a distraction to make way for a departure. I'll repeat that. We have a diagnosis, which is a distraction to make way for a departure. What you're witnessing, my fellow Americans, is the end game of a long played script, one that's not just about cancer, but about clean exits and erased records. Hey, it's nothing new. Do you remember Afghanistan? Well, good, because nobody else does. It's gone from memory. What about Hunter's laptop filled with evidence of international corruption? Faded from the headlines. What about the border collapse, the inflation crisis, the class war, the DOJ weaponization? All dismissed now. You know why? Because the poor man has cancer. This is the final curtain, the final veil. This is the ultimate soft landing. The same strategy Rome used when a pope needed to disappear without disgrace. Infirmity has become immunity. The silence is the smoking gun. Let's look at the timeline. Joe Biden was actively campaigning last year, 2024. He stood on debate stages. He spoke to the press. And now in 2025, less than a year, less than a half a year, less than a quarter of a year later, he's undergoing radiation for cancer that only develops over years. And you and I were just gaslit yesterday and told this is a recent discovery because he could not PP. Impossible. I'm calling it for what it is. It is impossible. If anything, the cancer diagnosis is late, but the cover-up is right on time. Now, what else are they hiding? Maybe this is why he avoided pressers, why he disappeared for long stretches at a time, why he needed handlers at every step. Was it aging, or was it bone cancer already starting to speak through his body? And now that his usefulness is ending, the media, who carried his water for years, offers up the ultimate hall pass. He's not corrupt. He's sick. So here's my final question for you, America, coming from the clandestine halls of the conservative college, the last great place on planet Earth for people like you to find the truth. If prostate cancer takes years to reach the bones, then how do you believe, America, Joe Biden just found out? You can't. And that's the point. You see, the cancer may be in the bones, but the narrative was always in the bloodstream. We pray for his healing, we pray for his soul, but we do not pretend that we don't see the timing, the strategy, and the orchestration. This was never about health. It was about history